Thank you. Anesta Kurunji from Kao Sports in Uganda. Captain Siya, from the start of the tournament, there's been messages from the Rugby Africa president to the Boks. Not sure if you've been receiving them, but he's been showing support that Africa stands with you and wishes you all the best in the tournament. You've now qualified for the final. Have you been feeling the support of South Africa and the rest of the continent through your stay in France?
Yes, definitely. We've definitely been feeling the support. We've been seeing the support. On our hotel, we have a video where, where it's one of our sponsors gave us a screen so we can see the support, what's happening back at home. And we know the whole continent is honestly behind us. Some of the videos where people just sit and talk about how they feel and what it's doing for them. And I don't think there's any country in the world where people that don't have DSTV will go to a mall and all sit together, and people keep the mall open and they sit there and they watch us play, different from people from different walks of life. And I think that is exactly what's fueling the team. And yeah, it's special because we know we're not only representing South Africa, but the whole continent in general. And if we do become successful, the whole of Africa does win. So we do see the support and we do appreciate it.
Gentleman on the right, over here.
Hi, Jacques and Siya. Antoine Talieu from Eurosport. The game was not very nice to see, and South Africa was not as good as 1 week ago. Do you consider this victory as a little miracle?
England is a world-class team. England is completely different to what they were a year ago. And they had an amazing game plan today, which we took long to get to adapt to. And these things happen, the thing that I take out of this game is the fact that we're able to dig deep and fight to get that victory. And we're so grateful that we can be in a position to defend the cup again. I know a lot of teams wouldn't be able to get out of that and get a win like that. So doesn't matter how ugly it is or how ugly it is to watch the game. If we get a victory, there's not going to say that it was an ugly victory. It's going to say South Africa won, and that's all we take for next week, and that's all we needed.
Okay, the gentleman at the back.
That's right. Congratulations, Jacques and Siya. Siya, can I just ask you about Jacques ahead of his last week with the Springboks before he moves to Ireland? What has he brought to the party? We saw the emotion that he had at the end of the game. As a coach, what has he brought to you and this group?
It's a tough one. You know each other from when he was 19.
I was 18 years old. I was contracted with the Cheetahs, and then I got out. I was able to go to Western Province, and that's when I met Jacques. When I go to the institute, when I was 18 years old, turning 19, and him and Coach Rassi used to come to the institute. The institute is it's an academy, the Western Province Academy. That's where our foundation is a group. Eben was there, Franz Malebe. There's a lot of other guys who play professional that are there. So when Jacques and them came, it was normally the full contact day. We call it copper stamp. You had to show who you are. And I remember every time they came, it was intense. And I got to know him then already. And then as I went on, he became my senior coach. And one thing that I love about him is he goes far deeper than what's happening on the field. He got to know me, he got to know my family, he got to know my reasons why I do what I do. When he speaks to us as a team, him and Coach Rassi, they don't encourage us about tackle hard and all of that. We all know what that is. He goes on who am I playing for, what's driving us, and he knows my family, he knows my kids, he knows them by name, and he asks me how am I doing as a person, and that is why I can go and give everything for him on the field, because he cares about the person, he cares about Siya, the Siya from the township. He tries and brings him out of me every time I play, and for the teams, and especially in big moments, and he sits and he talks about each and every single player. Our journey, it's so special to be known as a person, not just as an object or just as a rugby player. And that's what he brings to this team. And the fact that he allows families to be around, how much he loves it to see our kids running around. I know some teams are not allowed to have families, but that kind of family environment, that's what he creates for us as this team. And I've enjoyed every single year that I've worked with him. And the tough times too, when he comes and calls me out, why didn't you work there? He's always honest, and he's always, yeah, I can't explain how much I've enjoyed. And it was tough when he went away for 2 years, but when he came back again, it's like we clicked. We didn't have to get to learn each other, him and Coach Rassi. They just came in and they changed things, you know, because they love the country. But I know wherever he goes, they're going to be lucky to have him, because the amount of work he puts in, the detail he gets into, it makes life so much easier for me. All I have to do, just watch a screen and see the opportunities that are there. So, yeah, he's a special coach, and he's a special human being, most of all, an amazing father and a great husband. So, yeah, we'll miss him, and I'll be always forever be thankful, because I remember when I first met him, I couldn't tackle. After that year, we're playing copper stamp every day. I had to learn how to tackle.
Okay, gentleman at the front.
I'm not sure how you follow up that answer, but what was going through your head when Andre Pollard was lining up that penalty with 2 minutes to go? Question for whoever.
I had no doubt at all. I had no doubt at all. He's done it for us before, and it always goes like we're grateful for the benchman, actually for the whole squad. Like a guy like Marvin, you know, and the guys that don't make the team, Marco, you know, it's difficult. Most players drop their heads. In this team, we remind each other, at the end of the day, when we are successful, they're going to say South Africa won, not the 23 that played. The picture that Marvin shows us each and every single week, you know, Marco, he works on what the other guys are doing. Those things make it all work for us. And the guys that, like we said earlier, that don't start, you know, they know when they come on, the opportunity is there. And we all have different roles in this team, and we respect that. So for us to get that scrum, for Oxy, you know, and Vincent and Bongi, Bongi has been amazing. I told him today, he's just grown since we lost Malcolm. His chest has just gone up, and he's taken the position. He's been amazing. So this whole squad in general, the medical team has been amazing. The coaching staff, they prepared already for the next game, you know. So, yeah, when Paulie took that kick, it was just relief, and also it gave us a lot of courage, because that lets us know that we can do it. We can fight no matter how tough it is.
And Jacques, can you just...
We move on. Next question, please.
Congrats, Siya and Jacques. Siya, just one for you. Just a word on Ox scrumming, and Jacques, what was better for you? Pollard's line kick before RG's try, or his penalty kick?
Ox and the guys behind him have been special, you know, and we take pride in our scrums. It took a while, and I think the guys that started, we grinded as hard as we could, you know, and that's an important thing. We try and lay the foundation, and sometimes it's difficult. England was never going to lay down and let us go over them. And the guys that came on, they really took it to another level, like they did last week. To Oxy, Vinci, and Bongi, who went 80 again, it was really special, and obviously the guys behind him.